Hello everybody, my name is Ethan. Welcome back to the channel where today we are jumping back into the Go Battle League, into the Hisui Cup. Well, before we get into the matches and stuff like that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. It's now my most viewed video on the channel, and I couldn't be happier. I'm glad you guys are, enjoying the content and stuff like that. I'm going to keep pumping it out, but it feels very rewarding to have people enjoying the content and coming out and watching. So the other thing that I wanted to say was, in this particular video, we are again back in the Hisui Cup, and I don't do actually too well. I make a bunch of mistakes, but I think it was a good video to feature as like a learning, and I'm going to talk about a lot of the mistakes that I make in this video, because one of the best things you can do is look at your past videos. So right now I'm running a team of Cresselia, Hisuian QWILFISH. So we did end up running a Hisuian Pokemon in this league, at least. It's not just Sinnoh Cup. And then we're also going to be running Shadow Drapion with Aquatail and Crunch. And for QWILFISH, we're also running Aquatail, but we're running Poison Jab as well as Ice Beam, because I don't have any Charge TM, so I don't want to change it to Shadow Ball. Spoiler alert, we don't end up using a Shadow Ball or an Ice Beam in this video. So, and then for Cresselia, it does have its Ray Day move of Grass Knot. So, this team is an ABB style team. Obviously, Cresselia loses bad to Dark types as well as Bug types and Ghost types, and that's a thing that the Poison Dark types really do well against. So it definitely seemed like a very good idea. In hindsight, there were a couple of things. Definitely, the QWILFISH is interesting. Hisuian QWILFISH is interesting because it also has access to Poison Sting, but if you run the regular Poison Sting Aquatail, it's just kind of a worse version of Drapion. But of course, you can still run it. It does have Shadow Ball, which is interesting, but Drapion has Crunch, so it's a better stab move. It has that debuff chance, so completely up to you. We're going to be hopping into this match now, so I can stop talking to you. I think we win this one. Yeah, we do win this one. QWILFISH clutches up and gets the Aquatail off before Drapion's able to get to a move there. So that's a pretty good first match. That match didn't have too many mistakes there. We do see a Bastion. Now, the one thing that I will say about this team is you obviously have to watch out for Gastrodon in the back. Gastrodon in the back is going to be the hardest counter for this team. So what I almost always recommend is, if you do not inherently win the lead with this team, you're going to be wanting to swap out into that QWILFISH, because even though QWILFISH is kind of, I guess, the featured Pokemon in this video, if you're actually going to go about running this team, what you're going to want to do is immediately swap out QWILFISH. Sorry, I got a text message there. You're going to want to immediately swap out QWILFISH, and that's going to lure out the best counter to a Poison Dark type, right? Whether that be Toxicroak, Gastrodon, Bastiodon, whatever that might be. As well, you're running Aquatail on it, which makes it able to, hit Bastiodon for super effective damage and other Pokemon. Against this matchup, Cresselia does not win it, but now I am running a couple of things. They do swap in a Wormadam, which is pretty good for us. And as you can see there, they got a confusion through. There was a lot of this match where I just kept letting fast moves get through. When you run Poison Sting or any quick fast move, you want to be timing it against the longer fast moves. So you don't want to throw right away, because you're able to get extra fast moves through when they may not be able to, because they're running a fast move or a longer fast move. I know I'm like kind of confusing myself now. This Crunch is going to be doing good damage to the Wormadam, and we're going to be able to almost farm down, but they were very close to getting to a Bug Buzz, and I did want to win this matchup. So I'm going to be throwing the Aquatail here. Aquatail is definitely going to be taken out, and here you go. Gastrodon in the back. There's not much that this team is going to be able to do, just because they already got rid of our one Grass Knot user, so this game is pretty much over. There's nothing that we can do in this game to try and come back here. If we were running Poison Sting on QWILFISH, there may have been a chance. I surrender here, so there's no worried about me not shielding that. If I did end up using Poison Sting, I might be able to get to back-to-back Aqua Tail and possibly win that one, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, here's exactly what you got to do every single time. I did not inherently win the lead, and so I swapped out into the QWILFISH and brought out the hardest counter to poison dark types in this cup, and that is Gastrodon, right? So it'll lure out any Gastrodon, any steel type, and that's why Cresselia is so good, because it will lure out Lucario, Bastiodon, and with that, or Gastrodon, and you'll be able to, do better against that with Cresselia than with your poison dark types. They are going to be throwing a move here, most likely going to be the Earth Power. Yep, Earth Power does come through, but we are going to be able to Psycho Cut down this Pokemon, which is very, very good for us. We are going to be throwing the Moon Blast here, which is neutral against Drapion. And they are not going to shield it, which is pretty good for them. They do end up getting to a move here, which definitely sucks because I still have a ton of energy left. So I am going to shield it. They are going to go for the Crunch, and I'm going to go for the Grass Knot. Grass Knot, obviously a resisted move. But, if they don't shield, which they didn't, that's not good. They do have a Drifblim in the back, and Drifblim would be a very good matchup if I wasn't Shadow Drapion, I feel like. They are up 2 shields to 1, but with the Icy Winds that were debuffing our attack, but in this entire video I use Crunch probably 10 times and I don't get one single defense drop on the Crunch there. So not a lot you can do when that happens, which definitely sucks, but yeah. I did not get a single Crunch debuff in a lot of these games. So that was a little frustrating. Obviously you're playing with a lot of chance there. We do get a nice bait off, and we're able to go for another Crunch here. But since we're debuffed so much and we didn't get any defense falls, they're going to be able to survive it. And here was my mistake. Should have farmed up a little bit more with the Drapion. They obviously just had thrown a move with their own Drapion, right? They had just thrown the Crunch against my own Cresselia, which I had shielded. So they should have been energy dry, and I should have farmed up to at least an Aqua Tail before swapping out and trying to, catch something. Very unfortunate. We got another lead here, another Drapion lead. This one's a nice shiny Drapion, which is very cool to see. Again, you do not inherently win the lead, so I'm swapping into QWILFISH. I kind of picked up what the game plan was a little bit later on when in these matches. Obviously, in the start, not so much. They do have a Lucario, which is, again, one of the best counters to Poison Dark types, because the Poison... like the Poison Stings and the Poison Jabs don't do any damage because they're double resisted by the Steel types. So we are going to be throwing the Aqua Tail here. Aqua Tail is going to do a decent chunk of damage to this Lucario, but they end up deciding to shield it. Our Cresselia is most likely going to be coming back in here because the only thing that threatens us is a Shadow Ball here, which is completely fine. I am going to... This is a hard one. Are you going to decide to bait me? I'm going to call the bait. And I do call it, which is very, very nice. Most likely, people aren't going to bait there. I don't know why he baited. I was hoping he would Shadow Ball me because, I was calling it, right? They do have an Ice Fang Drapion, which is quite interesting. A very interesting little pick there. And we are going to shield this, thinking it's the Crunch. They do bait me back, right? They do get me back for the Power-Up Punch call. But I'm going to throw the Grass Knot here, bait them back. This team is a lot of baiting, but it's okay. We're having a good time. I'm not going to shield this because the only damage that would maybe come from it is a Crunch. Yeah, it doesn't do too much damage, right? They do have a Gallade, which is very scary, and it is a Charm Gallade, which is, again, very scary. I do think you should be running Confusion on this. If you're going to want to run Charm, why not just run Gardevoir? You know what I mean? Doesn't really make too much sense to run Gallade with it. They're going to be throwing the Leaf Blade here. Obviously, would be very close to taking me out. Gallade's got a pretty high attack stat, and Leaf Blade's a pretty good move. But we are going to win this one. There were a lot of mistakes made in this match, but we did recover and had a good time playing. I think this is the last match. I do believe this is the last match. We have a good lead here, but again, it's not inherently 100% positive. Obviously, the Grass Knots are going to be doing a good amount of damage. And as you can see there, the waterfalls that sneak through, just throw an extra Psycho Cut, right? You're going to want to throw an extra Psycho Cut because you are basically giving your enemy a free turn of energy, which you do not want to be giving them, right? There, I'm going to throw the grass knot again here, hoping to pressure the shield. We do end up getting the shield that time. This time, they're going to be throwing the hydro cannon. They're close to the back-to-back here. Another time where the waterfall just comes through, man. It's a little frustrating to watch it back and see, but it's a good learning experience to know that, if you are running a Pokemon with a low turn fast move like Psycho Cut, Mud Shot, Thunder Shock, Lock On, something like that, it is to your advantage to put extra fast moves in while your opponent's fast moves are going through. And that's just knowing how long fast moves are. This was a very interesting game for me. I don't know what I was doing really. Not throwing there was a little questionable because I had so much energy on my QWILFISH, so it was very questionable not to throw there. Would have left with at least an Aqua Tail if I just threw an Aqua Tail at that guy. They're going to be running Confusion, Gallade, and this is why Confusion is 1,000% better than Charm Gallade. In 3 Confusions, they're able to get to a Leaf Blade here, which is going to obviously lose CMP tie here. And we're going to throw the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is definitely going to take out Gallade, but whatever's in back has to be, 400 times weak to us, which they are not. They're a Luminion, which is a very awesome pick, but we lose that one. Well, if you did enjoy today's battle, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what battle was your favorite, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.